over. All over. Of these two children are talking about. But before that point, all the people on this earth was the same color. Dark brown. Let's check that out. Jeremiah 14:2. Read what I tell you to read. Jeremiah 14:2. Jeremiah 14:2. I got it. Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. So this is telling you two things. It's telling you the color of Judah, and it's telling you the color of Adam. Adam was taken out of the ground. What color is the ground? Dark brown. Go in the box, pick it up. It ain't talking about clay. Nothing grows in clay. What color is clay? The same color you so-called white. Man wasn't made out of the clay. He was made out of the ground. That's where the name Adam comes from. You have to study Hebrew to know that. The word Adam comes from the word Adamah. These writers that you call historians and Bible archaeologists put in the Bible dictionary and put in their encyclopedia that Adam means ring. That's a damn lie. The word Adam comes from the word Adamah, which means from the earth. That's why it was named Adam. Jeremiah 14:2 again. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground. That's telling you that Judah mourneth, the Jews, and the gates thereof languish. Their leadership are in languish. What? No progress. The gates represent their leadership. Then it tells their color. They are black unto the ground. In Hebrew it says Kedaru. The word Kedah means black or dark skin. Let's find out if that's true. Give me Psalms. You hold what you got. Psalms of Solomon. First chapter. I am black, but comely, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tent of Kedah. As the tent of Kedah. Right. Because the word Kedah means black. Or dark. That's the same word in Hebrew when it says about Judah being dark unto the earth. It says, Daru la'adim. Dark are they, dark skin are they unto the earth. When you go in the old Bible dictionary from the 1800s, when they had the Hebrew in it, and they take that word and they break that word down and it says it means dark-skinned man, a dark-skinned man, a black-skinned man. So it told you dark as the earth. So what color was Adam? Dark brown. What color was Eve? Dark brown. And all the people from the beginning were dark brown. Until you got to the time of Cain, when Cain killed his brother Abel. Before Cain killed his brother Abel, he was dark brown, just like everybody else. After he killed his brother Abel, the mark of leprosy was put upon him. That was the mark. There wasn't no X drawn in his head. There was a mark of leprosy put upon him. And he went off on the east of Eden to dwell in the land of Nod. The land of Nod, when you check out the maps and you check out the description of where the land of Eden is located at, the land of Eden was Palestine. Yep. Palestine. The land they call it Israel now, the land of Israel. That was the Garden of Eden. The rivers that ran around it, one was the Red Sea, one was the Nile, one was the Euphrates, one was the Tigris. The Tigris and the Euphrates are at the top, the Nile and the Red Sea is at the bottom, and in the middle of all that is Palestine. Give me the chapter. Third chapter, I think it is. Okay. Genesis 2, verse 10. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from this it was parted, and became into four heads. This river was the Jordan River. At one time, the Jordan River ran from the top to the bottom before the flood. It ran from the Euphrates and the Tigris to the Red Sea and the Nile. Read. The name of the first is Python. The Python is that which compasses the whole land of Havilah. Read it. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah. When you go into the ancient name Havilah, you find out that that was Saudi Arabia. The river that compasses Saudi Arabia is the Red Sea. Read. Where there is gold. And the gold of that land is next. And the gold of that land, give me the next river. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is it that compasses the whole land of Ethiopia. So the river that compasses the whole land of Ethiopia coming out of Egypt is the Nile. So that's the two rivers at the bottom. And the name of the third river is Ezekiel. When you look at the Ezekiel River and you look it up, that's the Tigris. Read. That is it which goes towards the east of Assyria. Assyria was over there in the area of Iraq. Read. And the fourth river is Euphrates. Now it's naming the fourth river. So the third river was right next to the fourth river. And that was the Tigris on the map when you look on the map. So you got the Euphrates and the Tigris at the top. You got the Red Sea and the Nile at the bottom. What's in the middle? Palestine. That's the God of me. Now, when you go back to the beginning of the scripture, and you read about Cain and Abel. After Cain killed his brother Abel, he was sent to the east of the Garden of Eden to dwell in the land of Nod. That's the Caucasus Mountain. That's the caves of the Caucasus Mountain. That's why after the flood, when everybody got wiped out, and Cain's seed got wiped out, and the so-called white people that came from Cain got wiped out, they are really red, not white. There were no so-called white people on this planet Earth until Esau was born in the 25th chapter of Genesis. That's what we read. Read the 25th chapter of Genesis and read the 21st verse.
And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
She couldn't get pregnant. So he prayed to the Most High to open her womb. Read.
And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah, his wife, conceived.
She got pregnant. Read.
And the children struggled together within her.
And there was a struggle going on in her body. 2 children was in her body. One was named Esau, that's the father, you so-called white people. And the other one was named Jacob, that's the father of the so-called Negro. And the West Indian and Puerto Rican, and so on. Where you sign? Right here. Hold the sign up on this side. Those are the 12 tribes of Israel. When you go and you do research, you find that out. When you do Bible research and you do historical research of the records that they got out there, like a book called The History of the American Indian by Adair, and another book called A Popular History of the United States of the Americas by Brian Cullen. Then there's another book of records, like newspaper clippings, like records, back in the 1600s, 1700s. And it's called The Lost Tribes of Israel in the Promised Land.
And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
If the Most High bless me, why is there a struggle going on in my body? Read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
The reason why there's a struggle in your body, I put 2 nations in you. I did. That's why they're fighting. That's what the Most High gave her the answer. I did. The reason why they're fighting, because there's 2 different nations. Read it again.
And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
In other words, that's our answer. That's the reason why they're fighting. Because I put 2 nations in you. Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And I put 2 different manner of people in you. You so-called white people are different manner of people from us. And everybody else is different. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And we're stronger than you physically and mentally. Only we've been put to sleep in this captivity. But we're going to wake up out of this captivity. Our mind is stronger than your mind, and our body is stronger than your body. Read.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And you're going to serve him. Your father was the first of these two children to come out. You're going to serve him. This was prophesied before you were born into this earth. You so-called Europeans. Read.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
But they were not identical twins because he already said two different manner and two nations. Read.
And the first came out red
And
all
their
over.
color was different. The first came out red. Now I'm going to ask you a simple question. What color are you? You can look at your arms and you can, what color are you? Huh? You're a damn light. You're red. I'm looking at you. Your face is red, your arms are red, your whole body is red. All you so-called white people are red. Your eye, in case you don't understand what I'm talking about, your eyeballs are white. Your skin texture is red. Red. Some of you are dark red than others. You can talk as much as you want, but I'm telling you the truth. And your eyes is telling you the truth when you see. When you so-called Negroes look around and see, your eyes is giving you the correct picture in your brain. When you come out of your mouth, you come out with a lie. You come out with the lie that you've been taught in this society, just like these so-called white people. But a lot of them know, when it be brought to their attention, they know that they are red. But some of them try to lie their way out of it. You're red. All you so-called white people, you're red. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes. That's your color. You're not a beige, you're not an off-white, you're not a dirty white, you're not a tan white, you're beige. All beige. You're red. Just like the Most High said here. Read it again.
And the first came out red.
The Most High is not blind. He know what he made. Read it again.
And the first came out red.
That was the father, you so-called white people. That's why you look that way. That's why you have a lack of brown melanin in your skin. And here's what Isaac said when the child was born. Esau. When you go look up that word Esau in ancient Hebrew, it's come from two words. He is added on to the word, and the word comes from the word wasted. Wasted away is he. That's what he looked when Isaac saw Esau coming out. He said, wasted away is he because your brown melanin, your pigmentation was wasted away out of you. That's why he named his son Esau. Read.
And the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. And they called his name Esau,
Which means wasted away is he. Now give me the 30th verse.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
When you read the history of this, the Most High made Esau was a hunter. They was about 30 years old here. And he went out in the forest to hunt. And the Most High caused the sun to beat down upon him. And he didn't find no meat. So he came back faint. Because the Most High had beat down upon him with the sun. And you so-called white people, you get faint in the sun now. That's why your doctors are telling you stay out of the sun, because you have that skin disease, which is called leprosy, what you were born with. That's what a lack of brown melanin. Your doctors are telling you that right now. You shake your head as much as you want to shake your head. That's what you have.
For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
The word Edom means red. Read it again. Read the whole section. 30.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
Pottage. And this pottage was lentil beans. The lentil beans wasn't red. What was making the pottage red? Meat. What kind of meat? Rare meat. Rare meat. That's how you like your meat now. Too, right? The Most High made that into your system. That you would like your meat rare, because you're rare. You're not done. Now give me the New Testament, and let's find out if that wasn't meat in those lentil beans. The New Testament, Hebrews. Tell them where you're at.
Hebrews 12:16. Lest there be any fornicator.
Least there be any fornicator. Why is it calling your people fornicators? Because you're not no righteous people. Like this homosexual faggot pope you got over here. Going around talking about he's the Most High, he's the Heavenly Father on earth. That's a damn lie. He's not the Heavenly Father. He's not the Holy Father. He's calling himself the Heavenly Father, and he's calling himself the Holy Father. And he's not. And you so-called Europeans, you ain't no Christians. And all the rest of the nations on this earth are not Christians. The only people on this earth that are Christians, the word Christian means anointed. The anointed people of the Most High are the Israelites. That's who the Christians are. That's who they were thrown into the lions in the arenas in Rome. Those were Jews that they were thrown to the lions in the arenas in Rome. That's who they were calling Christians.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage.
You read what you got again.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person,
A profane person, a faggot, a bisexual, homosexual, trisexual faggot is a freak. Is a profane thing. That's what you so-called Europeans are. You're a nation of bisexual, homosexual, trisexual, any kind of sexual. And all the information is coming out on you now. So you're not no righteous people. How the hell a faggot and a lesbian gonna be righteous? That's how the Most High says this. Read it again from the top.
lest there be any fornicator or profane person.
You're a profane bunch of people to the Most High. You ain't no righteous people, you so-called white people. You and your Pope and your priests are a bunch of profane people. And you ain't got a thing to do with this Bible. Neither you nor your Pope nor your priest. Because this Bible is talking about Israelites. Read.
As Esau.
As Esau. So you know it's talking about, read the whole thing again.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau.
That's you so-called white people. Go on.
Who for one morsel of meat,
Who for one morsel of meat, rare meat, read.
sold his birthright.
The Most High made you do that because the birthright was supposed to go to Jacob. But you had to be born first. Your father had to be born first because that's the way it was prophesied by the Most High. Now read that again.
And Esau said to Jacob,
Jacob was a Jew.
feed me, I
Heard
pray thee,
about white people.
with that same red
Came
pottage.
from South Africa with that same red pottage because in that red pottage was rare meat. Rare meat. Jacob was a Jew and you're talking about white people. Read on. He ain't came from South Africa.
Therefore,
That's
was
where
the name called Edom.
Therefore was the name called red. By the name of the color of the meat. The color of the meat was red and Edom was red. These so-called white people, they're the Edomites. Now, I'm going to go to the book of Obadiah and prove that they're the Edomites. Read from the top.
The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord concerning Edom.
So who we talking about? The Edomites, the red people. Who are the red people on this earth? You so-called white people. Not the Indians. Columbus thought he was in India. They call the people over here, the so-called American Indians because they thought they was in India. Did they ever call the East Indians red people? Hell no. Because the East Indians are different shades of brown. Ranging from a dark chocolate to a light brown. The rulers, a lot of the rulers over there in India are not in East Indians. They're Greek and Roman babies when you go and you do research. The real Indians over there are dark brown. Just like the so-called American Indians over here were dark brown. Don't get it confused. The so-called American Indians over here are not Indians. They're not the people of India. They're Israelites. They come out of 9 tribes of the nation of Israel. 3 tribes were brought over here on a slave ship out of Africa. That was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Judah's the so-called Negroes. Benjamin is the West Indians. The Levites are the Haitians. Hold the sign down there. Now, going back to Obadiah, we're reading about the Edomites. We want to find out who the so-called white man is. In the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, it said he's red and hairy. We're looking at them. They're not no white people. They're not a beige. They're not an off-white. They're not a dirty white. They are red when you look at them. Like the one standing there, the one standing here, the one standing there, the one behind them, the ones coming here. How the hell you can call these people white? I don't understand. on a white shirt. How the hell you gonna call them white when they're red? And when they try to get a tan, they get red. If they laugh too hard, they get red. If you slap them upside their head, they get red. They ain't never been white. Read again.
The vision of Obadiah.
The vision of Obadiah. Come on.
Thus saith the Lord concerning Edom.
So we're talking about the Edomites. Give me the third verse.
The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
You're a proud bunch of faggots, because that's what you are, you so-called white men. You're a nation of faggots. You're a proud bunch of faggots, but you're going down. You and your time are going down right now. You have reached your point.
Thou that dwelleth in the cleft of the rock.
Now it lets you know who it's talking about. Thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock, in the caves of the rock. What was those caves called? The Caucasus Mountains. What do they call you so-called white people? Caucasian. The cop said a Caucasian was beat up down such and such. A Caucasian was laying dead at such and such. Why are they calling you Caucasian? Because you came out of the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. What does the word Caucasian mean? It means cave dweller. Why was you in the caves? Because the dark nations rounded you up and put you in the cave because you got leprosy. Give me Job. Yeah, hold Obadiah and give me Job. Job 30. Give me about long in here. They were chasing.
Job 30 verse 3. For want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness.
For want of famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness. Talk about you so-called white people. Tell them about when you were put into the cave. Read.
In former time, desolate and waste.
The cave was desolate and waste. Read.
Who cut up mallows by the bushes.
Who cut up mallows? You was eating all the leaves off the tree. If you don't understand that, go get a movie. And the video shot. What is that movie called?
Quest for Fire?
Yeah, Quest for Fire. Quest for Fire. They were all on the tree 1 minute. Then the next minute they showed you the tree. It was clean. All the leaves were clean off. Read that statement again.
Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat.
That's what you ate.
They were driven forth from among men.
You didn't go in the caves on your own. You were driven forth by the dark nations because you have leprosy. You still got it. That's why you unconsciously, and some of you consciously, try to get a tan. Because you know you've been cursed. That's why you was in the cave. Because you have leprosy. You have a skin disease called leprosy. Read the statement again.
Who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men.
So you were driven into the cave. Read.
They cried after them.
Read.
As after a thief.
But you're a nation of perverts, thieves. You're the criminals. You so-called white people are the criminals. And you haven't changed one damn bit. When you came out of the cave, you started up your criminal acts again. That's how you got America. That's how you got in the Middle East. That's how you got in Africa. That's how you got in Europe. Europe is not your homeland. That's how you got in Europe. Dark people were living in Europe, all throughout Europe. You got in there and you pushed them out into the islands of the seas, like in the Polynesian islands. They used to live on the mainland. Like the Aborigines in Australia, they used to live on the mainland. And the reason why some of the Aborigines of Australia got blonde hair because in the cells of genes, get what you got, albino. The so-called white man, white woman, we the mother and father of them. They're what you call leopard albino. That's what Esau was, a leopard albino. And the Most High caused the seed to stay. Because Esau, the father, you so-called white people, they didn't have no women. You didn't have no women looking like you. So your father went and he married the Canaanites first, after. And the child still came out rigged. Then he went and married one of the children of Ishmael. trying to get back to the dark color. And the child still came out red because that was a curse put on you by the Most High, and you was to play a certain part in this earth. He was making a nation out of you, like he said in Genesis 25:25.
To dwell in the clefts of the valley.
That's where you were driven. Read again, the whole statement. Third verse.
For want and famine, they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness. In former times, desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief, to dwell in the cleft of the valley,
To dwell in the cave, to make it clear. To dwell in the cave. When Esau was born and he was raised up and he became a nation in the Middle East, he was living in the caves down there on a mountain called Mount Seir, over the Gulf of Aqaba, running from the Dead Sea to the Red Sea, a range of mountains called Mount Seir. That's where you lived in the caves in there. Later on in history, you got pushed up into the caves in Europe. That's what we're reading about. In caves of the earth, in caves of the earth, to make it plain. Now go back to Obadiah. Now we read in Exodus that they're red and hairy, and that they like their meat red. Now we got more clues to prove that Esau and the Edomites is a white man. Here's the rest of the clues. Give me the third verse again.
the pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
Read the first verse again.
The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord concerning Edom.
So we're talking about the Edomites. Now give me the third verse.
The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
You think you're going to rule forever. Your leaders, your government, Mr. So-called white man, your scientists think they're going to rule forever, but you're on your way out. You're in the time of going down now. You're on your way out. You over here in America, and you over there in Europe, because you're all the same people. Along with the Russians, the French, the British, the Spanish, you're all on your way out. The Irish, you're all on your way out together, because you're all the same people. You divided yourself in all these different groups, but you're all known as Edomites. Before you came out of the cave, there were no such people as Irish, Italians, Greeks, Spanish, French. The ancient Greeks came out of the seed of Yavin, and their name was Yavin, not Greek. That termination came from you so-called Europeans that came out of the cave. During the time of Alexander the Greek and his father, that was you that came out of the cave. Before that, the people in that area were dark. That's why they dig up dark paintings and all that in Greek. Because the ancient Greeks were dark, were black.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock. That's why you call Caucasian. So who is it talking about? You so-called white people. Read on.
Whose habitation is high.
Now it's coming to the end of the prophecy. To this time, whose habitation is high. The building. The highest buildings in the world is in America. Read.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the
That
ground?
saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Because of your missile technology, your weaponry, you think you ain't going to be brought down. You leaders think they ain't going to be brought down, but you're going down. The Most High gave you the wisdom to make these weapons to destroy each other with, and that's what's going to happen. You're going down.
Though thou exaltest thyself as the eagle,
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Read it again.
though thou exalt thyself as the eagle,
Whose emblem is the eagle? If that's not understandable, pull out a dollar. I'll make it easy for you. Pull out a dollar. What's on the dollar? An eagle. What is the seal of America? It's eagle. Pull out a quarter. An eagle.
and though thou set thy nest among the stars,
And though you set your nest among the stars, who's going into space traffic?
hurry up.
America. Can you let me? I'll call for that, brother. I want them to hear what I'm saying. I'll call for what I want. Read it again. Start again. You see this proves that? Start again at the top.
Though thou exalt thyself At the top, at the very top, first verse.
The vision of Obadiah. Thus saith the Lord concerning Edom.
Who are we talking about? The Edomites. We're going to find out that the Edomites is the so-called white man by the clues that is given. First in Genesis, we started off Genesis 25. One of the clues it gave that he would be red. Red and hairy, real hairy, like great metal. So you can understand. They had hair on them like a bear coat. One of the brothers went out the archaeology book out here. When they was in a cave, they had a hair on them like a bear coat. Like bear hair. And it said they were like their meat red. Now over here it's telling you we're talking about Edom now. And their name was called Edom, which means red. The name Esau means wasted away because their brown pigmentation is wasted away to make them look red. Now, third verse.
The pride of thine heart have deceived thee.
And this is a proud faggot. But the Most High says mine have deceived him. Because it ain't going to be like he thinks. Because he's going down. Read.
Thou that dwellest in the cleft of the rock.
When it says thou that dwelleth in the cliffs of the rock, you that dwelt in the cliffs of the rock. That's why you call Caucasians, you so-called white people. Because your foreparents dwelt in the caves. Read.
Whose habitation is high.
Who would build their habitation higher than anybody on this planet Earth. That's why it says whose habitation is high. Look at the building. Read.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
By the process of elimination, it's clear to find out who that's talking about. What nation on this planet Earth has the technology to say, I ain't going down? America. Read.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
What is the emblem of America? Though thou exalt thyself as an eagle. That's the emblem of America. Let's go back to the beginning of the so-called white man. The Greeks. Did they have the eagle? Yes. They carried it on their helmet, on their breastplate, on their shield. The Italians, the Romans, what are the Italians? Did they carry the eagle? Yes. On their breastplates, on their helmets, on their shields, on their banners. What about the French, the Spanish? Yes. The Germans, the Russians? Yes. The British? Yes. They all carried the eagle. America, that's the emblem of America. So who is this talking about? The so-called white man. Continue.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Who's got the space program going on now? The so-called white man. So it's clear who it's talking about. Though thou set thy nest among the stars,
This will I bring thee down.
so the Most High is saying, when you set your nest among the stars, then I'm going to bring you down. You went to the moon in 1969. Stuck your raggedy snot rag in the moon, which is your flag. Stuck it in the moon. Talking about we claim this for the United States of America. And when you landed, you had some damn nerve because your leaders know the prophecy. They say the eagle has landed. They know the prophecy. So when you did that, in 69, you started going down. Your system started deteriorating. Now look at it. Now look at it. The Japanese is coming over here telling you what to do. Line up everything. Your system is deteriorating. The only thing you got left is your weapons. And you're going to use them on each other. Your French brothers over there in France, most are going to turn them against you. The Germans, he's going to turn them against you. They're going to all shoot missiles at you. They're going to all shoot missiles at America. France is going to shoot missiles at America. Germany's going to shoot missiles at America. Russia going to shoot missiles at America. They all going to shoot missiles over here. That's why I say they all shall burn the horn with fire. Say the 10 horns, that's talking about your European brothers over there. They shall turn on this horn here, which is America. And they shall burn her with fire. The fire is missiles. And the angel's going to be in that battle. So give me Isaiah. Isaiah, the 13th chapter. And Christ is not no so-called white man. Neither were the Israelites so-called white people. Neither were the Jews when they was in Rome.
all over the catacombs, the underground cities of Rome, where they used to go and hide and hold meetings to pray to the Most High. And they painted their pictures on the wall. When they went down there, they buried a dead body in the catacombs of Rome. And they got a lot of books out here, archaeology, books called The Catacombs, showing you the pictures of them on the wall. Christ, the disciples, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, which is written about in the book of Daniel. And they're black on the wall. I got a book called Imperial Rome that was put out in 1965 by the largest big book company on this planet Earth. Lifetime Books. And they went over there and they took the pictures of the catacomb pictures on the wall and they put them in this book. Christ is black, the disciples are black, rulers of Rome. At a certain time, from 193 AD, were black. Up to 1453 AD, then the so-called white man took Rome back over. Under Caesar Borgia. Under his father, Rodrigo Borgia. And Caesar Borgia. The Borgia family. And Rodrigo Borgia became Pope Alexander VI. When you go and you do research, in the library and you look up the book called The Life and Times of Caesar Borgia by Sarah Bradford or anything on the Borgia, and you go look in the book and read, you'll find out that they used Caesar Borgia to pose for the painting that you got plastered all over the places in these churches for Jesus Christ. This image here, that's Caesar Borgia. The first guy to paint him as Christ was those two guys, Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was the first guy to paint him as Jesus Christ. That's the first one that his father hired to paint him as Christ. Then they hired Michelangelo to paint all over the place this image. That's Caesar Borgia. And when you go in the library, as I'm saying, you go right in the library, sit down, pull a book off the shelf and read about it. And the little crosses they have with Christ on the cross, that's Caesar Borgia on the cross. Mary Antoinette, she was the one that put that image for Caesar. And that's in that book, in one of those books called Caesar Borgia. What you got? Tell them where you at. This is Isaiah 13, verse 1. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see. This Babylon is talking about is America. America, read. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. This is the high government. Mountain here means government. The high government on this earth is America. The Most High is saying to his prophets to lift up a banner upon the high mountain. The banner that we're to lift up is the Bible. Exalt the voice unto them. That's why we speak rough. Exalt the voice unto them. That means speak loud. Read. Shake their hand. When you exalt the voice and shake the hand, you're telling somebody off. So the Most High said for his prophets to tell you off. That's why we talk to the so-called white man like we do. That's why we talk to you so-called Negroes, West Indian, Puerto Rican like we do. Because the Most High said for you to be told off, to be told what you're doing. Read it again. Lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. The banner is the Bible. Exalt the voice unto them. Shake their hand, that they may go into the gate of the noble. We're going to make this truth through the help of the Most High. More aggravated issue is going to come out in the open, all over the place. It's going to be on radio. It's going to be in the newspaper. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be all over the place so you white people can't get away from it. The truth about the Jews. The truth about Christ, that they're black people. The truth about the Bible. That the Bible is talking about the nation of Israel ruling on this earth. The truth about what's going to happen to all the nations on this planet Earth after this kingdom go down. You're going into slavery. The truth's going to be brought out on a high scale. Who's going to make this happen? The Most High. Read.
I have commanded my sanctified one.
The sanctified one means the teacher. Sanctified with this word. Read.
I have also called my mighty ones.
The mighty ones are the angels. Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Jesus Christ. Read.
For my anger.
And they coming. And when they come, that's the saucers you've seen. The flying saucers, those are the angels. Sometimes the Russians, when they was up there, the Russian cosmonauts seen the angels, seen 7 giant angels. Men with wings stretched out. And it said they were, each one of them was over 100 miles long. It said it scared them half to death when they saw it. And it had big wings like jumbo, big wings. I'm sorry, not 100 miles long, 100 feet long. Over 100 feet long. They say they had wings like jumbo jets. And they said there was 7 of them. And they had on their face a smile. They were smiling at us like they knew a secret that nobody else knew. You know what that secret is? That they're going to tear your butt up. They're going to come down here, they're going to tear the Army, the Air Force, the Navy of America up, and all nations on this planet Earth. They're going to be fighting with the angels in physical war. But they ain't going to be doing a damn thing to the angels. But the angels are the ones that created what we're walking on. The angels are the ones that put us together.
Even them that rejoice in my highness.
Even them that rejoice in my highness, that's the angels. The mighty ones for my anger, even them that rejoice in my highness, that's the angels. Read.
The noise of a multitude in the mountain.
The noise of a multitude in the kingdom. In the government. Come on.
Like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdom.
Come on.
Of nations gathered together.
All these nations are gathering together. Who's gathering together? The Most High. Read.
The Lord of hosts mustering the hosts of the battle.
That's answering the question. He's the one that's mustering them together. What is they muster them together for? To come to destroy America. Read.
They come from a far country.
When they say they come from a far country, that means from the other side of the earth, opposed to Babylon, which is America. Read.
From the end of heaven.
From the end of heaven means from all over the world. They're going to be coming from South America. South America going to rise up against this country. Middle East, Europe, the whole planet Earth is going to be against America. This is the prophecy. Read it again.
They come from a far country, from the end of heaven. Even the Lord and the weapons of his indignation.
Even the Lord is coming. The angels and the weapons of his indignation. Read.
To destroy the whole land.
Does that have a land have an S on it?
To destroy the whole.
Does it have an S on it? No.
No, it doesn't.
So it's talking about a particular place. The place it's talking about is America. To what? To destroy part of the land?
To destroy the whole land.
To destroy the United States of America. That's what they're coming to. Read.
How ye? For the day of the Lord is at hand.
How ye? And you so-called white people going to howl. Because the destruction of the Most High is at it. That's the day of the Lord is the destruction on you so-called white people. I think it's 5:18.
Amos 5:18. Woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
You so-called white people got all these churches and cut on TV, radio, they off. Like you the saints of the Most High, you're a bunch of faggots. You and your pope. Like he out there talking to all them people like he gonna gather something together. He ain't gathered nothing together but the destruction on your kingdom and the destruction on him. He's a faggot. Damn faggot standing up there trying to make like he's the Most High's man. You so-called white people ain't the Most High's man. Your Pope is a faggot just like the rest of them is coming out of the closet now in the Roman Catholic Church. A bunch of faggots. Like they got one of them locked up in jail. Like they thought they wasn't going to jail. They were molesting little kids. This didn't just start it. It didn't just start, you dumb, stupid-ass people. It's been going on in the Roman Catholic Church all along. Because the priests and your popes ain't nothing but a bunch of bisexual, homosexual faggots. That's what they are. And your nuns the same thing. Bisexual, homosexual, lesbians. And they're not the people of the Most High. And your Pope is not the Holy Father. The Holy Father is the Most High, the supreme being. Not no man on this earth, you stupid-ass people. And the Bible is the book of the Israelites. It's not the book of everybody on this planet Earth. It's the book of the Israelites. I'm going to prove that right now. Oh, what you got, man. See what you got there. So what end is it for you? Read it again, brother. Woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. So the Most High say to you white people, woe unto you. Destruction, that's what woe means. That desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? To what end is the day of the Lord for you so-called white people? It's not for you. It's for your end, your destruction, to bring you down, to stop your rulership, to put you in slavery. That's what the day of the Lord is. You should be praying that the day of the Lord don't come. You're a dumb bunch of people. You ain't your preacher. The day of the Lord is darkness. The day of the Lord is your light being put out. That's what it means by darkness. And these devils here walking around talking about they Jewish, they ain't no Jews. They're going to be done away with. They're going to be done away with seriously. When the captivity come on, all these so-called Europeans calling themselves Jews, we're going to put their ass to death first. You so-called Negroes, you're the real Jews. A lot of them know that, too. A lot of them devils know that. They're Edomites, just like all the other so-called white people. Darkness and not light. The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. It's the end of your kingdom. The end of America, the end of Europe, the end of your kingdom. Read it. No, I didn't show you something. I tell you something. As if a man just flees from a lion. The lion represents the Arabs. The Most High going to rise the Arabs up again. He's going to rise them up again. When I tell you to stop, that's when you stop. Don't take it in yourself. When I tell you to stop, and a bear meet him. And a bear is a symbol of Russia. The bear is going to be, now you're trying to get your house together. Trying to get your house together and everybody back in line around the earth, and you got a clown for a president. the president you got is a clown. You got a clown for a president now. And lean his hand on the wall. And your wall, when it say lean his hand on the wall, you're trying to get your foundation together now. But you ain't got no, what's his name? Clinton can't do a damn thing with your system now. It's done corroded. He can't bring it back. And people are beginning to see that. They thought, you some dumb people. You thought he could pick back up the economy? You gotta be out of your damn mind. You better look around and see who's running your setup. The Japanese is all in your setup. How the hell you dumb, simple-ass so-called white people figured that Clinton was going to help the economy get back up on its feet, and he's taking your money that he's supposed to give to you so-called white people over here in America, he's giving it to Russia. He's pouring it into Russia. And he's giving it to the so-called European Jews. He's pouring it into them. So when you crackers, when you peon so-called white men out here come to your government, they tell you we ain't got a damn thing for you. We don't have a damn thing for you, boy. We're struggling. We're struggling. That's what they tell you, dumbass white people in the Senate. That's what your presidents and your leaders tell you. And they're giving your money away to Russia and to the so-called Jews over there in Palestine. That's where they're giving your money. But the hell with you. I'm just showing you what your system is doing. But the hell with you. That's prophesied. And a serpent bit him. And a serpent bit you. The serpent is cunning. China gonna be involved in this war against you so-called white people. Now, demons. Go from there and go back to where I started. Who knows where the image is? You know where it's at? The image and a creature of life. What? Yeah. Go back to Isaiah 13. We ain't finished with that yet.
How ye? For the day of the Lord is at hand.
So the day of the Lord is not for them, like we just read. To what end is the day of the Lord for them? It's dark, destruction. So they're a bunch of damn fools. They're praying for their destruction. Because the day of the Lord is for us. It's to bring the so-called white man down and all the nations down so that Israel can rule again. That's what the day of the Lord is about. And as he's bringing all the nations down, he's going to pick us up in the flying saucers so we don't get jacked up. And he's going to jack up the nations with missile warfare and with angels fighting. And then when the smoke clears, he's going to bring us back down on the earth. And there's going to be some people left there too. A lot of white people going to be left. A lot of Arabs, a lot of Chinese, a lot of Japanese, a lot of East Indians. But one problem, they ain't have no damn power. All their power, all their weaponry, and all their power going to be destroyed. So all we're going to do is go out there and collect them. And they're going to be running and trying to fight, and we're going to put their ass to death and collect them.
Right.
And put their ass in slavery. And that's all in it. Maybe I'm saying the wrong thing. Hold this, give me Zechariah. Zechariah 14 chapter and 12 verse. Zechariah 14 verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people, meaning all the nations that have fought against Israel. That's what Jerusalem means. That helped bring us down. Not that so-called European imposter over there calling himself a Jew because he's not a Jew. Not the Colossians in Ethiopia, the dark-skinned Colossians calling themselves Jews because they're not Jews either. Not Beni Israel over there in East India, the dark East Indians over there that's calling themselves Jews, calling themselves Beni Israel, the house of Israel. They're not Jews either. You so-called Negroes, you're the real Jews. Their flesh shall consume away. Their flesh shall consume away. I want you to read loud. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. So how do we know that this is not a prophecy of ancient times? Because nowhere in ancient time in the records did a whole nations of people's flesh melt away off their body in one day. No place in nobody's history. That's nobody's history. Where nations all over this earth, flesh melted away while they stood upon their feet. Nowhere. Even in Sodom and Gomorrah, you couldn't even find the people when the Most High got through with that. You couldn't find where the building was at. Right. So that ain't talking about that. That's talking about the future prophecy. What can make your flesh melt off your body while you're standing on your feet? Nuclear weapons. Read it again. From the 12th verse, from the beginning. And this shall be the plague, wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. And this shall be the plague, wherewith the Most High will smite all the people that have fought against Israel. That's what Jerusalem means. Read. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. That's what we're reading about in Isaiah 13. Read. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes. Why does it mention their eyes? Because they're telling you the vision that they're seeing for the future. This so-called white man put it on TV. In the year 27, such and such, we're going to be doing this. You're a damn bunch of liars.
You're a damn bunch of liars. You're going to be in slavery for 1,000 years, and at the end of the 1,000 years, we're going to round your ass up and put your ass to death. You so-called white men, women, and children, under the orders of God. That's in the book of Obadiah. We're going to round all of you up after we have you in captivity for 1,000 years. You so-called white men, women, and your children, and we're going to kill you till there ain't none of you left. And their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Why does it say your tongue go consume away in your mouth? Your philosophies is going out with you. Your philosophies, your so-called Christianity is going out with you because it don't have a damn thing to do with the Bible and Christ. All your philosophies is going out with you. Your faggot philosophies, all your setups are going out. All what you taught is going out when you go out. And the other nations included. All their philosophies is going out. Philosophies of China is going to die with them. The visions of China going to die with them. The vision of the Africans going to die with them. All their philosophies going to die. All their gods will be overthrown. Same thing with East India. Same thing with the Japanese, the Chinese, and all nations on this earth. This is your future for all nations. You ain't going to be in slavery by yourself. You're going to have company. All the nations going to be in slavery with you, so-called white people. You're going to share chains together. You're going to share chains, and you're going to share iron collars together. Give me 149th Psalm. Second verse. 149th Psalm. Second verse. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. That's what you're not doing. You're not rejoicing in who made you. Who made you? The Most High, the supreme being that this Bible is talking about. You're not rejoicing in him. Who you rejoicing in? Africans. You come around here talking about you Africans. You're Israelites. That name Israel comes from the Most High. It means Prince of the Palace. That's what the name Israel means. Yah stands for he. The Shah stands for prince. And the Allah on the end stands for power. He is the Prince of Power. That's the name the Most High gave him. Instead, you rejoicing in being an African. You rejoicing in being an Arab. Talking about Islamic. You rejoicing in this white man's philosophy. When I'm down talking about you're a Roman Catholic, you're a Baptist, you're a Presbyterian, you're a Jehovah's Witness, you're an American Negro. And some of you fools out there talking about, I'm a man of the universe. I'm a woman of the universe. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. You're supposed to be joyful in your king, which is the supreme being, which is the ruler of everything in the universe, which is the creator of everything in the universe, whom they ignorantly call God, whose name is Yahweh. Yahweh, that's his name. Now give me the 5th verse. Let the saints be joyful in glory. What is glory? Glory is the kingdom of heaven. Who's going to rejoice in the kingdom of heaven? Only Israelites. All you so-called white people in the other nations is going to be in slavery. You ain't going to be doing no rejoicing. You're going to be doing some work, and you're going to be doing some crying. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. When we get up, we're going to sing aloud upon our beds because we're going to be ruling this whole planet Earth. And we're going to have you in slavery, doing whatever we tell you to do, and the other nations. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth. Then you Negroes, the West Indians, the Puerto Ricans, you're going to know this Bible. This is your book. The Bible is your book. You're going to know it. That's the high praises of God, of the Most High, is the Bible. You're going to know it then. Because you're going to be taught it. And a two-edged sword in their hand. So you're going to have the Bible in your mind and a two-edged sword in your hand. What is a two-edged sword? A killing instrument. It's not a peace instrument. It's not a love instrument. It's a killing instrument. But we're going to get even with you so-called white people. We're going to get even with the Africans. We're going to get even with the Arabs. We're going to shed your blood. We're going to put you behind the death. And the ones of you that we don't put to death, we're going to put you behind the chains. And the ones of you that we do put to death, We're going to raise your ass back up because you know our spiritual power. That's how you're going to play tough. We're going to raise your behind back up and put your ass back to work. And then when we get ready to kill you again, we're going to kill you again. And we're going to have breeding farms to breed you all through the 1,000 years. To breed you so-called white people, to breed the African, the Chinese, the Japanese, the East Indian, the Arabs. To execute vengeance upon the heathen. To execute vengeance upon the nation. Your scholars put that word heathen there. That word ain't supposed to be there. When you go look it up and you do examination of the scriptures, the word's supposed to be nation. Read it again like it's supposed to read from the 5th verse. Let the saints be joyful in glory. So the ones that's supposed to be joyful in glory are the saints. The saints are the Israelites. The nation of Israel, that's the saints. Read. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Reason why we're going to sing aloud upon our beds because we're going to be ruling this whole planet Earth. Let the high praises of the Most High be in their mouth. Then the Bible going to be in your mouth. That's the high praises of the Most High, the Bible. You're going to know the Bible. And a two-edged sword in their hand. And we're going to have a killing instrument in our hand. But to execute vengeance, what is the purpose of the killing instrument? To execute vengeance. Why? Because all the nations had us in captivity, all of them. Upon the nations of